how on earth are we supposed to hook up to this thing? Well, Baz, I don't schedule the breaks for you. I schedule the break for me. You know, it's no matter what time I decide to do something, it's not going to be great for somebody. That's the nature of things.
Happy anniversary, Natter.
Never tried reversing like this before. It's kind of weird. It's like operating a remote control truck. Well, that's what I do, Jappimon. I go and have a... You know, I'll go and stretch my legs, maybe play with the dog outside in the garden. Just have a mental break, have a physical break, and have a food break. Like a glove. Reminds you of Derail Valley. I just stood here with my remote control. Break splits the stream nice if you're changing games. Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing, is when I didn't have that break and I was having to eat, turn the camera off and eat, I really wasn't getting a break, and I was tending to rush my food. Whereas this way I can actually just take my time and have some food. And like you say, if I'm changing games, you get that natural break anyway. Yeah, Craig, that derail was... the reason the derail was spectacular was because it was very unexpected. Like, the derail happened, and then... The derail happened, but I took the consist all the way to the yard. And then all of a sudden it just decided to catch fire. That's a nice view. Yeah, that's true, Baz. The thing is about it is, I'd seen screenshots of the explosions, and I thought to myself, is it really like that in the game, or are they just kind of photoshopped some explosions in there? I wasn't really sure. And that's why when the fire happened and one of the containers exploded, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and watch this. Because I wanted to see what it would do with it. Like, would just one of them explode, or would it cause a chain of, effect? How would they model it? And it turns out that they'd done a full-on chain effect. Like, I could see the next tanker start leaking, and then it would ignite, and then it would blow up. And then eventually worked its way down to the locomotive, and that stopped. Yeah, I really wanted to do the damage penalty, which is why I went down to the shop and tried to hand it in. I was hoping it would just realise that the job was completely failed, because there were flames all over the yard, but it just wanted me to, like, I don't know, either wait for it to expire or drag the remains into the yard, which I wasn't prepared to do. But I reckon the cost would have been significant, but it would have been capped out by the co-insurance. So I think the most I've had to pay would have been like 65k or something. Yeah, but honestly, Baz, it was like, I couldn't be bothered, quite frankly. Just re-railing everything just to find out. Like I say, it doesn't really matter what it would have been. I would have been limited by the insurance. Yeah, the timing was unbelievable, Red Devil. Yes, King Awesome. Pro Mods Barcelona is heavy on FPS. Well, that's a pretty high insurance, Spaz. 100k. I presume that's all the military stuff that's done that. Or is it the Hazmat 3? Ryan Craig, thank you 15 months. I guess the theory is, if you can afford that license in the first place, you can afford the insurance. It's a bit like buying a Ferrari and then complaining about the fuel cost or the insurance cost. I must admit, Baz, I was disappointed by Military 1. In the job list, the jobs are actually rubbish for Military 1. And yet, it's something that costs a lot of money. Military 2 and 3, much better. Tanks and nuclear spent waste. Oh god, I am. I'm completely driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm not even going to bother buying Military 1. Like, I'm just going to wait until I can afford that and 2 and just buy them both together. Which I think is 300 grand. Sorry, Larry B. Thank you for 81 months. I did completely miss that. I think it was... Is that when I was out for a break, or am I just... Yeah, no. And thank you for 81. Basic BH, thank you for 2. Neil Ange 23. Ryan Craig with 15, thank you. Yeah, I did, Baz. Yeah, the classified one. Yeah, don't ask questions, just haul it. What is that in the road? Oh, it's a rock. Oh no, it's bin bags. No, not Daniel.
Celebratory bunt.
Refrick, I personally love the Military 3 Hazmat 3 jobs. Containers full of classified, just like in my real job. Also, the weight of the jobs are not accurate. No, they're not. But it's a game. It says punching the mic. Chelsea boy, hello. Why is a boy from Chelsea in South Africa? That's the big question. Thank you, Superflag. Military 3 is 400 grand, and because of the recent repairs, I'm short of that. Need to do some shunting. Did you see that shunting job I did, Baz? Got absolutely loads of money for that. Like 15 minutes work, I think, and I got like 38 grand or something. Curious though? Have a good one. Andy C, welcome. That guy on that motorbike had the most uncoordinated, awful outfit. He had a red bike with a red helmet and then a bright cyan jacket. Nobody, no motorcyclist I've ever seen would ever do that. Yeah, we watched the SpaceX launch on the stream on Saturday. Oh, nice little camera. So Refrec, no, I meant the weight of the classified jobs are actually off in the game. They purposely put the wrong number there. Ah, I see. Some like the empty cars whilst others drive like... Oh, really? That's a bit cheeky. Do you reckon that's deliberate?
Keep right, then turn left.
Pretty much Tom Flanagan, yeah. Have a look at the requirements on the Pro Mods page.
Turn left. First exit.
Why are you getting a direct drive wheel, Lee Donald? Are you like competitively racing or something?
Make a U-turn.
Make a U-turn? You what, mate? Good night, Cindy. School tomorrow, blimey. First day back? "31 hours on the ferry. I could have gone to space and docked with the ISS in that time." Would you recommend stepping up to a Fanatec after using the G920? Yeah, but for what, production guy? For what purpose? Thank you, Steady Dan. Like, buying a Fanatec just for trucking is... I'm not going to say it's a waste of money. I mean, the force feedback is definitely stronger in trucking with the Fanatec than it ever was with the 920. But is it worth the money? I don't know. There's probably other things that would improve your setup.
Turn right.
iRacing ETS2 setup course. Well, if you're sim racing, then... Oh god, I'm on the wrong side again. If you're sim racing, then arguably, you know, it's worth going with the Fanatec. What is this guy doing? Is he just doing donuts? Yeah, I mean, if you're doing racing as well, then definitely think about it. Because, I mean, buying a direct drive wheel, say, and then just going trucking in it would be like buying a Porsche to go to Tesco. It would just be crazy. Like, the game doesn't put out accurate force feedback like, say, a racing sim does. It's decent, but it's not, you know, it's not like the difference between 8-bit and 10-bit is going to make a difference. Given you have the money, you'd buy a Porsche to go to Tesco. Fair enough. Well, don't expect to get much shopping in it, alright? Good night, Oscar. You'd have a lot of fun going to Tesco. You'd probably go the long way around, yeah. You wouldn't go straight to Tesco. Well, you can get the Porsche Macan, I guess. I mean, that you can get some shopping in a Porsche Macan. You reckon the second-hand market will be flooded with fanatics in half a year? Why? What is my dream car? Blimey, that's a very tricky question. It's motorbike? He's not messing around. Lou Castle, thank you for 2 months. No, they still make like mini SUVs. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I have a dream car. I've never, put it this way, I've never liked the idea of being so smitten by a vehicle that if you owned one, you'd be sort of driving around it like cautiously, you know, I don't want to scratch this, I want to keep it super clean. I'm scared to park it outside the cinema. Like, I wouldn't want to have a car like that. Like, I'm the kind of person that if I buy a car, I want to enjoy the car. I don't want to be worried about where I've parked it or if it's going to get scratched or if somebody's going to nick it. Like, that's what insurance is for. So I would never buy some kind of, you know, Bugatti Veyron just because it can go 200 miles an hour. When am I ever going to go 200 miles an hour? The amount of fuel that thing drinks, it would just really annoy me every time I went to fill up. And you certainly couldn't leave it parked anywhere, so I would never go after that kind of a car. You know, I like cars that they tick a lot of boxes. I mean, that Porsche Taycan is a kind of car that you could have a lot of driving fun in, but if you wanted to take your family on holiday, it's not going to work. So you've always got to bring it back to the question, well, what do you want the car to do? There's no point just having this dream car, because when you come to, you know, do the tip run because you're having a throw out from your house and you can't use this wonderful car you've got because there's no space in it and you don't want to put junk in the back anyway. So do you want a car to be a family car, a workhorse? Is it just something to stick on the drive and look at? And that's why I always have a problem when people say, what is your dream car? I mean, yeah, some people have the view that a car is just an A to B, it's just a tool. You get in it, you drive, you get out. I don't care as long as it works. I've got some friends exactly the same. Yes, you do, Tom, because you have to do a radio license. C65 AMG wagon. I would probably go down a model to the 50, the 5 Series rather than the 6 Series. Like the 65 and the 65S are like crazy beasts, V8 engines and stuff. But I would drop down to the 5 and have the 6-cylinder.
Oh,
Better
yeah.
fuel economy, really punchy engine. Better all-round package in my opinion. It's like the difference between like an X3 M40 and an X3 competition. Like one of them is really good and the other one is like cutting edge. But it's not, you know, you don't need that kind of cutting edge most of the time. And you have to thrash the engine to get the best out of it. And the other one's a lot more comfortable. It's that kind of thing. So again, it comes back to what is it you want the car to do? The Dane, just Sunday evening and a great week. I think you said just want to wish you a good evening, a good Sunday. Thank you, Dane. Thank you for the bits. You'd like a Dodge Charger. It's a 5-door muscle car, but practical. Shame you can't get them right-hand drive in the UK. Not my kind of thing. Yeah, in some respects, Andy, yeah. Although, you know, the PC market tends to turn over much quicker. Like, you know, graphics cards will get upgraded every year. Or every 2 years they'll have a serious upgrade. Like, cars aren't quite like that. And they're a more significant purchase than a graphics card. Like, if you buy a graphics card today and decide it's not powerful enough, you can buy another one tomorrow. If you did the same thing with like a 20, 30 grand car, that's going to be expensive. And that's the other thing, is like your car requirements change as you go through life. If you're young and single, your requirements for a car are different to when you've got 3 kids. And they're different again to when you're retired. Like, they're all different. Or you might be a car nut, in which case you like changing your car every year because you get bored of them. The Trabant. I don't remember the Trabant, Supoi. Black Beast, thank you for 31. Thank you, dear. Yeah. 911 nut, fast estates. I do like fast estate cars. But things like the RS6 are just massively overpriced. Like, if the RS6 was 60 grand, it would be incredible, but it's like 100 grand, which is just insane. Like a fast family estate car for £100,000 is just insane. I would really like if they did the M5, if they brought an M5 Touring out, and I can't understand why BMW don't do it. But that's why they've started getting into like mini SUV sports cars, like the BMW X3 M40. It's that kind of really fast SUV. Mercedes have got them as well. Audi's got them with the kind of Q3. The Q3 range. So they've kind of gone for the fast SUV, but BMW still haven't taken the M5 and made a touring version. Which is just nuts, because loads of people want them to. Declan, it doesn't matter what you say, it's not a Ferrari. An Audi and a Ferrari are not really comparable. It's 100 grand, it's too much for what it is. You like wagons more than SUVs? You see, Mrs. Squirrel's different. Every time I look at buying an estate car, she's like, oh, don't like estate cars. Get an SUV. Like, we always have that debate. Have you ever bought a brand new car? Yep. Like twice, I think. The new Audi S6, not the RS6, might be a better option. Well, the new, for some stupid reason, Audi decided to put diesels in their new S6. Or was it their S4? I can't remember. They put diesels in it, which is the most stupid idea. King Austin Paul, what are your thoughts about classic simple to maintain cars that you can fix yourself versus today's cars packed with tech that you need a shop to fix? I'm not a classic car guy. I never have been. So if you are, great, go for it. But I'm more of a high-tech guy. A lot of the BMW is own VW and the motors to not hold up. I don't understand that sentence. But the last of the petrol S4, must say it does need to be petrol. I really fancy something like an S6 or even an S4 estate car, but it would have to have like a V6 petrol. I'm not interested in going diesel. I don't know, bro. I just, it's utter madness to bring a new car out and put diesel in it. I don't know, Joseph. I freely admit this. When it comes to mobile phones and cars, I get bored. It doesn't matter how good they are, I get bored of them. I know after about the 2 to 3 year mark, I get an itch. With cars, like about 2 to 3 years, I get an itch that I have to scratch. I have to trade it for something else. And it's the same with mobile phones. I don't think I've ever had a mobile phone more than 2 years. Ever. That's just who I am. I can't help myself. Like, financially, that doesn't make sense. Like, some people buy a cheap car and then keep it for 5, 6, 7 years and save a ton of money. And then look at me and say, you're an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I probably am. But, you know, I see people waste money on a lot of things that I don't waste money on, so... Who's right, who's wrong? He was thinking of an Audi RS model, but they're high theft targets. I don't know, Phil. Like I say, if I buy a car, I get insurance and I enjoy the car. And if somebody decides to take it, I claim on the insurance. It's been 17 years my dad hasn't bought a new car. Do you mean a brand new car or any other car? Well, Bucko, it is a balancing act, isn't it? It's a balancing act between, you know, keeping your money for a rainy day or whatever, and then enjoying your money, because you can't keep it and take it with you, like you say. Like, the idea of just squirreling money away for your entire life and never enjoying it has never appealed to me. The last M5 touring since the E61 2010. Yeah, I don't understand why they've never gone back and done another. I think an M5 touring would look amazing. Your dad has been driving the same car for 18 years. Wow. What kind of car is it, Sage? I had a friend and his dad drove, you know those VW camper vans from the 70s? He had that for like 20 years. Orange and with a white top. E63 MG Estate for you. Yeah, again, I would go E53 Horrocks. E63 is a very good car, but it's expensive and thirsty. A 1998 Chevy S10 Blazer. Whoa. Wait, can I go? I can't go through that way. Cajun Gamer doing well. Really, Phil? A timing issue? That's interesting. How old are they when they get a timing issue, Phil? I've got the B58 engine in mine and they're notoriously good. It might do, Rome, I can't remember. Are all your cars bought without a loan? No. I just get finance. Done some that are just out of warranty, that's annoying. Peugeot has the same problem with chain-driven motors. If you're going to change your car for a few years, why not lease? Well, I kind of do, don't I? I get a personal contract plan, but I think leasing works better if you do it through a company and claim the VAT back and that kind of thing. What is the point in the... Really? What are your thoughts on a Tesla? I mean, I admire Elon Musk and Tesla and what they're doing and what they've done and what they continue to do. It's unbelievable to start a car company and to start a car company in the 21st century is nuts. Nobody thought it was possible, and yet they did it, and now they've got one of the most valuable car companies on the planet. In terms of their products, it accelerates like you wouldn't believe. It doesn't corner very well, but it accelerates really well. Personally, I don't like the inside. This super duper minimalist approach is not something I like. I'm all for clean, minimal interiors, but not that level. I like having controls for certain things. I do find it ridiculous that they charge you £5,000 to £6,000 to go to like have things like ludicrous mode, where it's literally a software flag that says, yes, you can do this. £5,000. You're not sure electric is the answer. Well, the problem is that I think you have to get off fossil fuels, right? So what is the solution? There's only really a couple. There's hydrogen and electric. And hydrogen is like a bit like graphene. It's an amazing thing, but nobody can work out how to make it cheaply and economically. So you're kind of stuck. Like hydrogen fuel cells sound like a great solution, but you have to kind of produce it on site with electrolysis, and for the amount of energy you get out of it, like cost-wise, it's not that effective. Well, yes and no, Andy C. Like, power stations are gradually, well, in the UK anyway, I mean, every country's different, but in the UK, they're building a lot of wind farms, solar panel plant, you know, they're literally replacing stuff. We're trying not to burn coal in this country. And it's going to take decades before eventually you stop doing that, but just digging up fossil fuel constantly is not the solution. However, the real problem comes in things like the aviation and shipping industry. Like, nobody really has a solution for that one. How do you get those guys off fossil fuels? That's the question. Well, yeah, Toyota were thinking that hydrogen would be the solution. Hybrids are the best solution at the moment. Do you mean plug-in chargeable hybrids or just hybrids? Make synthetic fuels. It does make you wonder if there's perhaps a way of growing crop and using that to power the planet somehow, but again, if you've got to burn it, this is the problem. If you have to burn it, and it's any kind of carbon-based thing, it's going to generate CO2. Whereas if you burn hydrogen, you don't. Why can't you use the same concepts as a hydroelectric dam, but on a smaller scale? Use water to turn a turbine to make the car move. Wait, what? Use water? That sounds like a steam engine. Where does the energy come from? Like, with a dam, you're using gravity. The energy comes from the fact that the water is at a higher level, and you lower it through gravity, and you turn things with it. That's how, you know, that's how they work. The energy is basically extracted from gravity, if you will. You can't just put that in a car. That isn't going to work. Well, Misery, there are lots of discussions about battery production and the chemicals going into them. I know that Tesla's got its battery day coming real soon. And, you know, there is a big race around the world to create more efficient batteries. And batteries that use less kind of toxic chemicals. Well, nuclear fuel is another one of those things that it creates probably the most toxic byproduct known to man, which then has to be put somewhere because you can't dispose of it. You have to put it somewhere and leave it for hundreds of years. That's not really a sustainable thing. Danny, thank you for 18 months. Rally 4, thanks for 53 months. Thanks for the tier 2, Danny. Hydrogen in vehicles uses a fuel cell to generate electricity. How does a combustion engine use hydrogen? The engine block would literally explode. You basically combust the hydrogen with oxygen. The byproduct is water, and the energy is released. You use that to propel yourself. It works fine. The problem is not the engine, the problem is producing the hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas that wants to expand. It's a very light gas that wants to expand, so you have to liquefy it. And it takes energy to do that, basically. Well, Tesla's vision of the future is that we won't be drivers anyway. Tesla's vision of the future is that you buy a Tesla and then you add it to the carpool, and then, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning you look outside, your car's gone. It's not been nicked, it's just drove itself away to go and pick up some people from a nightclub because they've ordered a car and yours got selected. You're going to get paid for it, but so's Tesla. And then at 7 o'clock in the morning, your car will come back just in time to take you to work. Which you won't drive because it will do it on autopilot. That is literally Tesla's vision. Yeah, how they think this is going to work, I don't know. There is no way on earth my car is leaving my house to go and pick some random people up. No way. Tesla has, like, their autopilot. I forget how they measure this, but they give it a safety rating. And, like, if you take the average safety of a person, they deem that to be 1.0. And a Tesla autopilot is already on like 3 or 4.0, so it's already, in theory, 3 times better at driving, or more safe. It's 3 times safer than the average person at driving. They want to get that number up to 10. Because if they get that number to 10, they can probably go and argue with some politicians and say, well, our cars are 10 times safer than the average human at driving, therefore, you should allow our cars to drive everywhere, and people shouldn't drive because they're not safe. And that is where the whole thing starts to unwind, and we all start losing our license, and we're not allowed to drive. So it's interesting that Tesla make cars, but their vision is not to make cars for you. Their vision is to make cars to take you around. They're not making cars for drivers. They're making cars for passengers. Think of it that way. That's basically their vision. I don't know who's going to clean up your car when somebody's been sick in the back. I honestly don't know. Who can afford a Tesla? Well, let's say they say to you, well, you can have a brand new Tesla for £500 a month. If you allow it to be added to the carpool program, it will be £250 a month. With the money you'll get back from renting your car out, you'll save a load of money every month. That's what they're going to say to you. I think somebody just hosted, but I can't see who it is without tapping out. 1 second. Who was that? Mr. John Fly. Mr. John Fly. Thank you very much, sir. Hope you had a nice fly. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, guys. Have you seen the Model 3 with 2 big Duracell batteries on the front trunk? Well, no. Oh my god, what is going on here? Oh, look at this stop sign. I love it. The stop sign says "Durr." What a brilliant stop sign that is. Duh. Oh, I love that. That's the best sign ever. Save money by constant run, increased wear and tear on the vehicle. I know. It's complete short-term thinking. But all you got to do is join together the dots of what Tesla's doing, and you basically see that the end game with Tesla is that we do not drive our cars. Someone's Tesla got pulled over. Oi, you're not polluting enough. Where's the emissions coming out the back? I don't see any soot. You're too clean and you're having a ticket. Well, that's the thing, is Tesla sees it as transport. They don't see it as making a car for a drive. They have a different vision. If no people are driving cars, it'd be pretty safe. If people and robots are driving cars, allow us to use. Well, I honestly think that they'll have different lanes on the motorway for autopilot and non-autopilot. I think they'll separate them.
You have reached your destination.
Going in here somewhere. Ballistic Hellcat, 1 second, sir. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to park this when somebody put their white car in such a convenient location. You have the tunnels that the Boring Company are making for cars. Yeah, but they'll be Tesla-only cars soon enough. Oh, this is annoying. Okay, that sounds a lot sharper than I thought it would. It's a Dacia Sandero. Push it out the way. It's a Dacia Duster, actually. Oh man, it needs to be like 3 feet to the right. Yes, that'll do. We'll take it. Don't care. Ballistic Hellcat, Squirrel, you're an awesome streamer and YouTube content creator. I was wondering if you would ever bring back Trucking Diaries EU. It was an awesome series and never quite finished. I did an episode of Trucking Diaries. I did an episode of Trucking Diaries a few weeks ago. I'm sure I did. So it's not finished yet. Alpha Y. Actually, no, it wasn't EU. You're quite right. It was US. I did say in the US video whether or not I will do EU. I couldn't remember. I don't know. No, I did it the other way around. Did I do the EU one or the US one? I can't remember now. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. Alpha Y, thank you for 69. Captain Flint. Like a glove. It was the US one. I thought so. Yeah, I think I said in it, I was going to think about the EU, but I wasn't 100% yet whether I would. Mediocre gaming stream, that's literally the wrong place for that kind of comment. Not welcome here, bro. Alright, let's see what kind of job we've got here. Let me express my happiness. Congratulations. Right, empty pallets. I want to go up this coast here. Maybe something to Mangalia would be great. Too long. Okay. I haven't... I may have misclicked. Right. I was like reading the chat going, we're going back in time, and I'm sitting there going, what are they talking about? Oh, we're going back in time. And I'm like, eh? And then I looked up. And then I realized what was going on. I misclicked something. It accidentally changed scene. Pro streamer. Technically, yeah, I was having technical difficulties. You're hauling into the military base, Baz. Well, that's downhill, it's easy. Oh no, you're going uphill into the base. You've been there before. I was so confused, Rajon. Like, because I tabbed out, run the band command, tab back in, and then people are going, whoa, we're going back in time. Hey? It took about 20 seconds for me to realize what was going on. When did I start playing this game? Did I use a keyboard? No. There's no way I was ever going to play this game with a keyboard. I got a Logitech joystick out and used that. That one on the left. That's the one.
You have reached your destination.
I do iRacing playing PC, yeah. We do all kinds. We do flight sims, train sims, truck sims, car sims. Do a few things. Just this afternoon we were doing train sim. Lion Trucking, it sometimes tells you in the chat who gifted you the sub. Yeah, I've played bus sims, but the problem with bus sims is there aren't any good ones left. We're still waiting for that great bus sim.
Turn right.
Yeah, we've done tank sims, we've done warship sims. Sims.
Left turn. Turn left.
Oh yeah, if you go to your subscription page, I think it shows you on your sub page who gifted it to you. Fernbus. Fernbus is not... It's not the game I wanted.
Go around the roundabout. First exit.
I just wish we could take the physics of SnowRunner and just make a bus sim out of that. Or a truck sim out of that, like a proper one. That would be fantastic. You know, like the whole... Like the way SnowRunner models liquid in the tanks and things like this, and the suspension, and the way it deals with terrain, just take all of that and just make it into a bus sim. So when people get on the bus, you can physically feel the bus kind of... The weight dynamic is changing. Did Fernbus ever get passengers walking on the bus? No. Nope. Despite the fact that they used to have it, if you remember, it was in their, like... Was it their alpha or their demo? I can't remember. People walked onto the bus, and then when the game released, they teleported. Ever played Identity? Yep. It's one of the best town hall experiences I've ever had. Would you like Truck Sim to be in Asia or in Australia? I actually don't care. I just want it to be a great Truck Sim. How do you think SnowRunner compares to ETS? In what respect? What wheel are you getting, Sheriff? Look at that outfit. Oh, that's it. Just casually move in front of the truck, as you do. And then brake test me, as you do. Because... that guy is Evel Knievel. Did you see that landing? Did you see that landing? That was amazing. Hey, I didn't kill him, he killed himself. He pulled in front of me and then hit the brakes. I just didn't stop accelerating. The shirt was a crime, I agree. That was funny. Did someone clip that? Because that needs to go in the highlights. I kind of expected him to quietly disappear under the truck, I must admit. Yeah, that's it. The cruise control was on, that was it. I just forgot to cancel. Alan Bowen, thank you, 34. You think the resubs are broken again? Yay. WGA Bryle, thank you very much for subbing. Welcome. And Mitman, 39 months. Thank you, mate. It doesn't need to be on Discord, man. It just needs to be clipped. Thank you. So yeah, SnowRunner versus ETS2. CS460, welcome back.
Turn left.
I want the stop signs that say duh. Did you see that the Operation Genoa Bridge event announced? Nope. You think ETS2 is a bit better purely because there's no limit on the amount of jobs you can do? You know, it's an interesting question. In Euro Truck, you can basically take one job at a time. You take one job, you haul one lot of goods, and then the job finishes. In Derail Valley, there's already gameplay though, where you can take multiple jobs, you can work out how best to move things around, and then make money that way. Kind of begs the question, why doesn't ETS gameplay progress to the point where you can do that kind of thing, where you can, you know, buy a box trailer and then look for contracts that want goods moving around the map, and then work out, if I take that to here, I can take this with it as well and double up the money. Effectively a multi-drop, but enhance the gameplay at the same time. You only have to look at what they're doing with Derail Valley in terms of licenses and things. You know, dangerous goods, military goods, hazardous goods. They've already got similar kinds of things in the game in Euro Truck. You know, you can get your hazardous chemical license, but you can't maximize profit with it properly. It's not dynamic enough. And like I've said before, you can't take contracts. The idea of a contract to move, you know, 500,000 tons of aggregate from A to B, using, you know, doing it multiple trips, there's no concept of that. I kind of feel like if they... people would play the game a lot more if they enhanced the gameplay. Because it's stayed the same for years. And all you've really got is just more places to drive, but the gameplay's not really moving. Ooh, that was close. Passport control. Would you want to drive the same route identical 5 times? Not necessarily. I could assign AI to do it. I could do one myself and assign AI to do the rest. Like, imagine being able to manage the drivers who work for you. Imagine that. You go through your drivers and you say, right, you guys relocate over here, and it goes, right, that'll take 12 hours to relocate them. 12 hours later, you say, right, you guys take your trucks and deliver this aggregate. So there's like management aspect as well. Rather than just hiring a driver, buying a truck, giving them the cheapest possible truck you can find because it doesn't matter, and then put it on auto and then let the game make money for you. That's basically what you do. It's like the most simple gameplay. It is literally fire and forget. Hire a driver, give them a truck, stick it on auto scale, sit back, profit. Yeah, why do you think I've got so much money? I haven't managed my way to 1.2 billion euros. It just happened. Cassius, thank you for 2 months. Yeah, we're doing good, thank you. BK, thanks for 53 months. I don't know, I kind of prefer games where you have to work things out. Like Derail Valley makes you work things out. It really does. It makes you work out the contracts, work out where things are being dropped, work out how to get things around. They need to bring more of that into this game. I can work out how to make more money by maximizing the goods that I'm taking. Oh, the freight market, Aliki, I've said many times. The freight market needs completely redoing. And they've always said, oh, we're going to put it online. World of Trucks is going to have, you know, so much more. Like the truck fees themselves, like, it's so simple. Exactly. The more garages you own, there should be rental costs on those garages. There should be upkeep costs, you know? I've got like 80% of my garages have probably got no trucks there and no drivers there. And they don't cost me a penny. You'd be more managing instead of driving. If they make it properly, then you can basically just focus on driving and turn all that stuff off. I kind of think, I do wonder though, Jens, if people actually want more than just the driving. Or at least if we're going to have driving, then allow us to have a better driver experience then. Yeah, because Red Devil, because it's lip service. Like, if you stop, if you get pulled over for a weight check, there's never any consequence, so it's just lip service. If you get pulled over for passport control, your passport is always in order, it's lip service. There's never a consequence. Can I take something that will risk me getting caught at passport control? No. Should I? Yes. Moss Pittman, just finished Derail Valley VOD from this afternoon. Agree with your points about the economy. Loving your streams in the game. Thank you, dude. You saw the explosion then. From SCS perspective, plenty of people are still playing it, so why spend money on overhaul the gameplay? Well, let's just hope that that can keep going forever. Because there comes a point in every game's lifespan that, you know, the people who have been there from the start, if you're not keeping them playing or keeping them wanting to play, they will eventually move on. I've seen it in other games. I mean, I like what they did. You know, the community goals and that kind of thing, where as a community you haul 1 million tons or whatever. Like, that's good. But there's special events, there should be more of that. It should be a regular thing. You know, I should be able to take part in some kind of big haul and then benefit from it when we complete it. They're the kind of things that make you get in the cab and drive. You need to give people a reason to drive. Yeah, the community event for Genoa is one example, but when was the last one? Like, they did one in ATS when California, that bridge, sorry, the Route 1, is it? Where they had a landslide? They did one for that one. I think that was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one they did of that kind, I think. To be fair, you haven't played the game since 2019, so you've got to do the same thing with driving, more driving. Case in point, Ender Drew. You're basically backing up what I'm saying. Yeah, the trucking from home thing, but...
Right turn ahead.
Have you done any real-life trucking? A little. I don't have a truck license, so I can't do it for real. Very much.
Turn right.
Big Sur was summer 2018. They did a Christmas event. So they've probably done about 4 in total, maybe?
You have reached your destination.
You finished the home trucker event within less than half of the given time window. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the fact they give you loads of time to do something. Some people, you know, you might be on holiday, you might be have a lot of work on. You know, I don't mind that they give you weeks to finish. Late? 30 minutes late? What? Wait, what? When did we... What? I didn't reroute. KSMJ, what do you mean? Specs.squirrel.tv will now take you somewhere completely different. If you're using a link on the website that's not going to the right place, let me know. Revenge of the Biker. According to that, we were late. I'm not buying it. Okay, guys, that's it.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
It is indeed game over. It's the end of the stream, end of Sunday Night Trucking, and I should be back next week. Hopefully, with a normal schedule next week. So, thank you for watching. Hope you had fun. Thank you for a great weekend of fun with you guys. And thank you, of course, to the mods and the team in general for the amazing work they do behind the scenes. I should be back Thursday, probably. Don't know what we're playing next week. Yeah, I'll have a think. Probably do some more Derail at some point. But yeah, it just remains for me to wish you all a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. If you're back at school or work tomorrow, well, stay safe. And if you're still stuck at home, I'll try and make some content to entertain you. So yeah, have a very great week, and I shall see you all in a few days' time. So probably on Thursday. Stream is indeed ending. Right, guys, I'm heading out. Take it easy. Love you all. Good night.